Okay, this is going to be a basic introduction to Planetside 2. Um, I'm not sure what other kinds of videos there are out there for this. I haven't watched them. I personally have been in the beta since the technical test. This game has come a long way since then, and in my opinion it still has a long way to go, but it has gotten significantly better since the technical test. So we're going to start with the basic classes, since I'm right near the equipment terminal here. You have your infiltrator class. Looks like this. Right now, all the classes are pretty much regulated to one weapon per class. In this case, I'm Terran Republic, and we have a crappy sniper rifle. This is the pistol. That's base for all classes. You also get abilities like the knife, which right now is just a quick blade. I know on Planetside 1 you could take the knife out, turn the chain on. I always thought that was pretty cool. I think they should, at least be able to take the knife out, even if it is just a quick stab with it, just because I want to see the knife. But that's me. I like the quick blade, like Call of Duty style. It's like that. Cloak is their basic ability for the infiltrator class. This just tells you about the shield on the suit. Shield is that blue dotted line in the right hand corner. Also above that is your ammo and capacity ammo. Left of that is your grenade. Obviously the green is health. And above that is your ability power, which by default you hit for F. And this is the heavy weapons guy, so that's a shield. I'll get to that later. I also have grenades, as you see, and I have the commander rank cert, so I can have spawn beacons. Now, everybody that has the command rank cert can buy spawn beacons, and I suggest you do so because they are just, you need them if you want to do any kind of successful attack. Light Assault, very cool class. I'm going to equip this and then I'll go back into it so you can see what it does. The Chieftain, I have the silencer, the let's just go into it here. The reflex sight 2x, which is my favorite, gives you a little bit of zoom with the red dot sight. I also have the silencer, the suppressor, that's what it does, and the forward grip. This setup seems to work well for me. I've heard controversial things about that, and I know they're going to change a lot of these before it goes live. The light assault gets the same gun as the engineer, which is fine because then you only have to buy the certs for that one gun, which is really nice. You can play two classes, and he can also do this. I'm flying, which is very helpful for when you're attacking bases and so on and so forth. It's really nice. You can get on top of big rocks and cliffs and shoot people in the back, and they have no idea what's going on. It's a pretty fun class. Combat Medic. Comes with the cycler from the original Planetside. It's pretty accurate. I think they recently slightly nerfed it a little bit. I don't know if it does a little less damage or what it does, but with the medic you also get the medigun, which you can cert up. Right now, as it's basic, it doesn't really do a whole lot, which kind of sucks because we're used to it being so powerful. The pistol, I haven't turned this off. It's a 3-shot burst, or you can switch it to single shot. I think the single shot's badass. The medic's basic ability is like a AoE heal. And it's kind of hard to show off because nobody here is hurt. Oh, that's max. Let's see if it works. Oh, it doesn't work on maxes because they can only be healed by engineers. Durr. So that's a good thing to keep track of. Only engineers can heal maxes. So that's the combat medic. I'll go into the engineer, which is primarily what I use. Get the engineer gun, which looks exactly like the medic gun. Good job, Sony. And the chieftain, like on the light assault. And you can also spawn turrets. These turrets are, well, I find them to be controversial because sometimes they're really good and sometimes they're fucking useless, which sucks. You also get a ammo pack standard. I have unlocked C4 and proximity mines and tank mines. They recently changed those, so I'm not getting into that right now because I haven't had much time to test them. But this gun's pretty good. It's pretty accurate. As you can see in the bottom right corner above my shield, you can see a blue line getting red in color. That's pretty much a cooldown for this gun. So as long as you burst it and, you know, let it cool down, you can fire it indefinitely. It has no ammo capacity or anything. You can just keep shooting, but if you lock it up, it has a long cooldown. It's got to go all the way to 0, so try not to lock that up. This guy's being all bro-ish. Really checking out my gun. Let's go back inside. Next up, we have the heavy assault. This is a class I frequent the most because there's a lot of vehicles to deal with. This is the heavy assault main gun. I have it decked out with the foregrip, the suppressor, and the same scope as the Chieftain. This gun is also kind of controversial, and it may have been nerfed in the latest patch. All these things are subject to change, obviously, because it's beta, so we don't know how it's going to end up. But I think it's pretty good. If you burst it, it's pretty accurate, as you can see. And that's while strafing and moving backwards. Or you can just, you know, spam fire it. Still pretty accurate, you know. You can kill people. 200 round barrel magazine. Or whatever the technical term is for that shit. I like it. I have friends that don't like it, but it seems to work out for me. It's not a bad gun. It's good for taking down maxes. If you can get a enemy max and you just fucking lay that on their face and you get constant hits, he'll die. Believe it or not. Which you know, doesn't really say much about maxes, but anyway, this is the basic rocket launcher. It's dumbfire. It used to have a sight on it, but they recently changed that, so it's a little harder to fire. You have to kind of use that crosshair up before it disappears, or you have to rearm it. I'm not sure why they changed that, or if that's a bug, or if there's unlocks for it. I haven't looked, but that's that. Also here we have the squad beacon. I will point out one thing with this because it can be very frustrating. See how it goes from green to red, red to green? You never want to deploy it when it's red. You always want to deploy it when it's green. And you always want to make sure it's green when you click that button, because otherwise it won't deploy. It'll like fall over and not work, and you'll lose it. Which is something that obviously I learned the hard way. But this allows your squad members, and squad members only, to drop in near there. So we'll go back and check out the map. And here's the max. Now, right now, my max is equipped with the burster guns for anti-air. Not everybody in the beta can get the burster max, I don't think. I don't know if they changed that recently, but it was only the tech test people that could get it before. Now the burster max, the max in general, well at least ours, I don't know about the other factions, but ours is that quick speed boost that you just saw me do. There's no constant fast run like that for the max anymore. This is about as fast as you can run at max speed while holding shift using the sprint key. The burster max recently was buffed and is now pretty badass. You can take down a reaver, or you can take down a scythe in one go if you can hit all the shots, which is not always possible. If you're fairly accurate with it, you can take most things down in about 2. It's a good gun though. Let me go equip the other guns just so you can see them. I never use them because I'm always in different suits and everything, so I'll just pull out the cycler. This is the cycler, this is anti-infantry. It's pretty standard. The other factions have way better anti-infantry guns. But you know, you get the idea. Just some mini chain guns. Now where TR is supposed to be better is in the anti-vehicle. Well, at least that's what I thought. I don't think that's the case anymore. I think Vanu has the better anti-vehicle, but I haven't really used this, so I can't say. As you can see, it's very slow firing. The Vanu one is very, very fast and does a ton of damage. A ton. Maybe this does too, I don't know. Like I said, I haven't really tested. I just know the Vanu one is fucking brutal. And of course, they have a new thing called the flamethrower, which is fucking badass. So let's check those out. Really cool. Pretty effective too. I've used those a couple times. But anyway, I'm going to put my burster back on so I can have it ready to go when I need it. Because there is usually a lot of air power for, a lot of air power for the NC. They fucking love their Reavers and their rocket pods. It's really annoying. I think that is it for classes. Yep. So I'm just going to hop in Engineer right now. And I'm going to go check out and show you the vehicles and stuff. Okay, so I'm going to show you some of the ground vehicles here first. I'm not going to spawn them all because they cost resources and I don't really have enough of them. But I can show you the pictures. Here we have the Flash. It's upgradable. I think you can put weapons on it. It's your basic little light buggy. Good for getting around real quick. The Sunderer. This thing, while it looks ugly as shit, is fucking badass. Even the standard guns on it, very, very good at taking out armor, as long as you have both gunners. Good for taking out infantry, as long as you have someone accurate to shoot. It's very, very durable. Like, really durable. I would say it's better than the Prowler right now. Prowler, we'll get to in a minute. The Lightning, very useful. Mostly for anti-infantry. It's a pretty quick light tank. Can be equipped with the Skyguard attachment for anti-air. It also has a good upgrade for anti-infantry. It's really weak against armor, obviously, because it's a lot smaller. I usually take them out pretty easy. The Prowler. This thing, for the most part, fucking blows. I have it fully certed out, and I wish I hadn't wasted my certs on it. The only cool thing about the Prowler that I've noticed is that you can lock it down and you pretty much have instant reload speeds and no recoil on your turret, but obviously you sacrifice all that for no mobility, which, you know, if you're salting a base is good, and if you're up against an enemy tank, you're fucked. I'm going to cut the volume down a little bit here. So yeah, that's the Prowler. I have it set up with the M12 Cobalt, which is a gun that you can buy with Araxium, which is that blue triangle thing that says 8001 on my screen at the moment. You accumulate that by playing, obviously, and same with the other resources. You have to capture bases, so on and so forth. I bought this. It's an anti-infantry gun. It's like a machine gun. It's really good against infantry, and I also bought the, what do you call it? Oh, the night vision. There you go. For this. It never seems to stay in my settings. I'm sure that's just a bug or whatever. The halberd looks really cool. Does decent damage to armor. Horrible arc on it. You can't really traverse it up and down very far. The turret's also very slow moving. I wish I hadn't paid for it because it needs a buff. It's not very useful. And this is the basic gun that comes on the The Prowler, I think it's the same as the Sunderer weapon, so it's pretty solid, but you know, this one is way better for anti-infantry, which is usually what I have the biggest problem with. Because, I mean, if you come up against the Mag Rider or Vanguard, unless you get the jump on them as a Prowler, you're going to lose, because the Prowler's just really weak at the moment. So that's what's up with that. So, those are your ground vehicles. This right here is a Galaxy, which you can pull from this terminal here. For some reason it's the only plane you can pull from that bottom terminal. I'm just going to go run over here and look at it, just so you can see it. I'm lucky that this guy is flying it, not that he's doing so well, but you know, he probably sucks at flying just as much as I do. The Galaxies right now, they have the equipment terminal here. You can currently spawn from the Galaxies once they're deployed on the ground like this. I think that is subject to change in the future. If it hasn't already, I'm not entirely sure. There's multiple seats in this thing, as you can see. There's also multiple gun spots. There's a top gun spot, and I don't know, I feel like the gun spots are horribly positioned. It's really hard to defend yourself against aircraft. But you know, Galaxies are absolutely necessary for any kind of base attack. Here we have a Liberator. Now this I'm recently starting to sort out. I'm not very good at flying it yet. These are very, very deadly if you can use them correctly. This is the main mortar cannon. Somebody obviously is inside this checking me out. What's up, buddy? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? This is the tail gunner spot, which can be equipped with several weapons. As far as I know, you can't change this weapon, but you can change these ones, and I don't know how useful that really is. But anyway, I'll run upstairs and show you where these can be spawned. One thing you really gotta look out for is ground vehicles, because they can just like graze you. Like, I'm just gonna tap that guy and you die. Like, you can spawn a vehicle, and if there's anyone standing right there, they're dead, and there's not anything you can do about it because you have no control over the tank at that point. So this is where you spawn your other planes, like the Liberator and the Mosquito, which is right here. This guy has rocket pods on his. Pretty badass. Chain gun on the front. I don't know if these are air-to-ground rocket pods, which I assume they are because there's a ton of them. They also have anti-air ones. And believe me, we need a lot of those Mosquitoes in the air because the NC loves their fucking Reavers. Those things are ridiculous. Up until recently, the Reavers were faster, stronger, could afterburn longer, pretty much indefinitely, than the Mosquito. Yeah, tell me if that makes sense. And their rockets pretty much would two-hit kill things. Infantry, Maxes, vehicles, anything. But they recently got nerfed, which they really, really needed. You may have noticed these little portal things. These are just little elevators to go up and down. Pretty simple. But that's about it for the vehicles. I'm trying to think. Yeah, there's not really much else to do with that. They don't have all the vehicles from Planetside 1, which is unfortunate. They don't have like Reavers and Mosquitoes and stuff like that for every faction either. The only ones that are cross-faction for planes right now is Galaxies and Liberators. The Mosquito is the Terran Republic's main fighter. The Reaver is the New Conglomerate, and the Scythe is the Vanu main fighter. So they're all different. I love killing Scythes, and especially Reavers, because I hate them. But yeah, that's about it for vehicles. Next, I kind of want to get into the menus and stuff. I am really disappointed with all this. This is your basic settings, graphics, all that stuff. Voice, there is in-game voice. I have mine turned off, but My friends always have it turned on, and they say they can hear people like talking randomly on the field, which is pretty cool. I'll probably end up turning that back on at some point just so I can hear it. I've never heard anyone talk, but this is your keybinds, all basic stuff. Here we have your profile on Battle Ring 10, as you can see. This is how many cert points you have. This is where you can delegate your cert points. I personally think this cert point system is awful, but I'll get into that at a later date because it's just not worth it. You can also see your implants, and I'll show you where to buy those. You can see your stats, which mine aren't very good, and the leaderboard thing, I don't know how well that works. You can go, they have very detailed stats. They started tracking your stats and stuff. You have your weapon stats. You can see how many kills you have with like the knife and stuff, as you can see there. Machine guns, blah blah blah. Your vehicles, you can see. 92 kills with Prowler, you know, things like that. And then they have the leaderboard, which I have dropped significantly in rank. I used to be like 100 something, but I haven't been playing as much because it's just not as fun without friends. You know how that goes. All these people, these aren't legitimate stats. I don't know how they do these things, and I don't want to know. But obviously they're not legitimate, because look at that. That's just not... Things like that just aren't feasible. Unless they're like devs or something. I don't know what they are. Here's your map. Right now it's Terran Republic. They just recently switched the spawns. I've seen the spawn down here for TR, over here just recently, and they just moved it up here. Usually the faction that holds the top of the map usually has the cutoff right here. They usually have a good strong grip on this top half of the map, and it's usually a massive fight right in this area, as you would expect. But the NC is just, I don't know if it's their weapons or if it's the Reavers or if it's just, I mean, their population has been higher recently for the past month and a half or so. I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but they just have been dominating and dominating and dominating. I don't know if it's just this server or what it is. But anyway, that's your map. They recently made changes where you can see the different base names on the things, which is pretty cool. Very, very helpful, especially when you're trying to hook up with squad mates, which I'll get into in a minute. About hooking up with your squad mates. So that's very cool. They also recently added this grid system, which is very nice. You can turn all these things off and on and whatever you want to do. All the settings are right here where my mouse is. Hopefully you can see my mouse. If you can't, it's on the right side. The little check marks and everything. You can see things like this. These are hotspots where you can instant action to. Obviously it costs a little bit of resources, but you know, if you want to jump right in, there is a way to do so. And I think it's kind of bugged at the moment because there's weird, like this one. Is this the right one? Oh, it's not working. I don't know. I saw a bug the other night where there was a thing that we didn't even have lattice to, and I could hot drop right into it. So it's a little buggy at the moment, but you know, it works for the most part. The only way, I'm pretty sure as of right now, to capture bases is it has to be attached to your lattice, which is the little hex things here. There is no backhacking, so we can't, you know, fly down here and capture this or whatever, or capture over here. There is no way to do it. A sound tactic is to, like right now, it probably won't work for us, but see how we're going down like this? If we were to connect this, these guys wouldn't be able to capture anything. And they wouldn't be, like, they would be cut off, and it would be a lot easier to just, you know, push them out if we had forces pushing from there. So it's basic military strategies, all that stuff. It's pretty cool stuff, but you know, some improvements still need to be made. As far as hooking up with your squad mates, they made it a little better recently with adding the different spawn points. Before you could only spawn at like one place once you died, and usually it wasn't the same place as your squad mates, which fucking sucked. See, now we're cut off right here, and we don't have many troops here, as you can see by the pie chart on the left. So that's gonna fall really easy. And we're pushed right up to our warp gate here, and Vanu's pushing on the side. Anyway, the squad mates thing. The spawn beacons has helped a little bit in that regard. I'm sorry, and I was wrong about the... You can capture anything connected to your lattice. So these guys could push out and get stuff down here, but it's a lot harder. The spawn beacons have helped, and they added a lot more spawn locations. Like they made the circumference wider to where you died or something like that. So it's a lot easier to hook up with your teammates now, which is really nice. It would still be nice to see improvements on that. So anyway, the classes, showed you those already. The vehicles, here's all your vehicles, showed you these already. What do we have here? This is the implants. I don't have any implants at the moment, you have to buy them all. This is your social tab with your squad. Obviously I'm not in the squad at the moment. Your outfit, we don't have anybody on right now except for me. Your friends list, communications, which is like the chat, outfit chat, things like that. And they have a video thing here where you can like record videos and upload them to YouTube and weirdness like that, and I'm not exactly sure how that all works. I haven't messed with it yet. Your certifications tab, which I already showed you, and this is the store where you buy stuff. You can add cash. I don't know what all of these things really do yet because they're not in the thing. There's a couple infantry weapons you can buy, rocket launchers for the heavy assault. That's it as of right now. Vehicle weapons, there's a ton, as you can see. I'm just going to scroll through real quick. I'm not going to go through them all. They all cost a bunch of resources and money, and some of them barely work, some of them are just completely useless, and some of them are alright. Customizations you're going to be able to buy with Sony Cash or Station Cash, whatever the fuck it is. They got a lot of those in there, as you can see. I'm just going to scroll through real quick. Implants, this is where you can buy your implants. Right now there's not too many of them implemented into the game, and they currently only last 24 hours or 30 minutes or something like that. I'm not exactly sure. See, this says 24 hours. I've seen some of them say 30 minutes. I'm not exactly sure which timer that is, but I mean, they're just stupid things. It's nothing like the old implants, and I have never used them because I just feel like, I don't know, I just haven't used them. And you can also buy resources, which I wouldn't recommend because it's easy to get them. So that's about it for the menu settings. Your support things over here for submitting bugs and all that. I feel like this system is very clunky, needs a lot of streamlining, needs a lot of work, as with most of the game. But that is just a very simple introduction to Planetside 2. I will be uploading videos in the future of me and my bros fucking battling it out, getting owned, raging, crying, maybe killing some bitches, you know, dying. There'll be lots of dying, because that seems to be what you do in this game, is just die and then run for hours, but I'll try and make it exciting for you. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you later.